Our story begins with the little girl returning home after school, and she is excited to tell her mother that she scored 10 points on her English exam. It is her birthday, and when she lights the candle on the cake, something horrible is obvious that she is not seeing her mother, but the soul of her mother. You know this girl has something very extraordinary. She can see the souls of the dead. Her mother had passed on in an accident, but her spirit remained to see her daughter grow once again. The scene of parting is horrifying because it reveals how tight their relationship is when mother advises her daughter not to look into the eyes of souls again and leaves her. However, the relation of the girl with death is deeper than anyone understands. 6 years ago, she and her mother ought to have perished in the accident. One of them was rescued by a mighty creature that is referred to as Goblin, who heard the prayers of the mother and saved them both, only to realize that the woman was pregnant. But as soon as the Grim Reapers came to make them pay their dues, they had disappeared. Jump into the current time, and we find our male protagonist, Kim Shin, who is the Goblin of legend. He was a renowned general who had won innumerable battles to his king more than 9 centuries ago. Jealousy and politics, however, brought him down. The new king had been played with by the treacherous Park Joong-won and had been executed by the new king. With the most tragic turn of events, the king of Korea, Kim Shin, along with his whole family, was killed by the very nation that he had been defending, his beloved sister, the queen. Kim Shin was stabbed in the heart with a sword. Though he did not die, he was cursed by being immortal. The gods made it that he could see all those he loved die, and he could not forget a single death, just because all the lives he took at the battlefield. His only escape? The Goblin's bride who can draw the sword out and slay him. Switch to modern times where we get to meet Eun-tak, who is now a high school student. The baby that was rescued by the Goblin has become a strong young woman despite her immense misery. She stays with her sadistic aunt and family after the death of her mother, and they mistreat her by thinking she had stolen insurance money that was theirs. It is her birthday, and Eun-tak is alone and miserable as she sits on a beach with birthday cake and makes desperate wishes to have a job and not have to ask her aunt money and a boyfriend. Goblin listens to her prayer, and he is summoned the first time in more than 900 years. What is more shocking to him is that he is not able to see her future, something that he can see of anyone. He presents himself in front of her, explains to her to get a job at a chicken restaurant, and disappears. Eun-tak is puzzled, yet resolute, and attempts to locate him once more. She finds out that she can make him come by blowing out fires, candles, lighters, anything that burns. Kim Shin becomes more disoriented each time she calls him. When they meet correctly, Eun-tak tells her that she sees ghosts, who came to inform her that she was the bride of the Goblin. She demonstrates to him a strange birthmark on her neck. Kim Shin checks her by inquiring what she sees, and she describes him to her. Except she does not mention the sword that sticks out of his chest. Feeling disappointed, believing that she is not the one, Kim Shin opens a door and passes across to Canada. But Eun-tak trails him into that magical portal and proves that she is no ordinary human being. Meanwhile, Kim Shin goes back to his mansion, where he finds a roommate that he did not expect. A Grim Reaper who has rented out a room with Dae-ok Hwa, who is a young guardian to Kim Shin. The two supernatural creatures instantly come into conflict, whereby they use their power to irritate one another as they cohabit. Eun-tak is at a point of breaking down her life when her aunt and her family beat her, claiming that Eun-tak had stolen something. Woman in Red, in fact, one of the gods guarding Eun-tak, offers her spinach to her family to cook. The family finds gold bars after consuming it, and they all start greedily fighting against each other. This is what they are being punished by hurting the bride of the Goblin. Eun-tak is one night kidnapped by the loan sharks after they had sought the allegedly promised insurance money. Scared and lost in their vehicle, she can blow a flame and get Kim Shin. He comes in with the Grim Reaper and they save her. Kim Shin uses his powers to divide the car in two and swathe Eun-tak in her scarf and make sure that her kidnappers will receive justice and forget her completely. The following day, Eun-tak finds out that her whole family has left her aunt, and she is overdue checked out without saying anything. She is homeless, and Sunny, who is a generous restaurant owner, accepts her and puts her to work and a place to live. In this restaurant, Eun-tak continues to summon Kim Shin, and gradually they start spending time together. Kim Shin takes Eun-tak to have meat, and wants to know whether she is his bride or not, by telling her what she sees on his chest. She is also coy, and she does not wish to inform him of the sword. One of their meetings in the restaurant shows the Grim Reaper, and Eun-tak observes him to be very handsome without realizing, and Kim Shin becomes mad at him. Something magical occurs on the other side, between the Grim Reaper and Sunny. The moment they see each other on a bridge, the Grim Reaper cries unexplainably, but he does not know why. They exchange contacts, and as foreign as he is attracted towards this woman in a manner he fails to understand. Kim Shin concludes that he has to go, and Eun-tak is not his bride because she cannot see the sword. He leaves to say his saying goodbye at the beach they met in a proper way. The parting is heartfelt. When Kim Shin attempts to go, rain drops, but Eun-tak summons him. At last, she confirms that she is able to see the sword in his chest. This discovery alters the meaning of everything. Kim Shin comes to the realization that she indeed is the Goblin Bride, the one who will have him end his endless misery. But this time that he has found her, something has gone wrong, as he is not yet aware. Why he wants to live longer. The more the time Kim Shin and Eun-tak spend together, the stronger their relationship is, even though the sword is between them, both literally and figuratively. Kim Shin goes with Eun-tak to Canada and takes her sightseeing as well as feeding her favorite foods. Kim Shin understands that his heart is stolen in the midst of a magic moment with the falling red leaves. He has fallen in love with Eun-tak. This love makes it all difficult. The goddess shows a horrible reality. Eun-tak was born to draw the sword. Otherwise, unless she lives up to this fate, she will perish. Kim Shin has to make an impossible decision between her life and his freedom. In the meantime, the Grim Reaper and the romance between him and Sunny unfolds even though he is a mystery. He has problems with contemporary technology, knowing how to use phones and rehearsing the dialogue. Their engagements are sweet, that are full of his tripping wit and her indulgent charms. The reality about their previous lives is starting to surface. Kim Shin is given a painting of his sister, who passed away 900 years ago, and when the Grim Reaper looks at this painting, he unexpectedly starts shedding tears. This relation is made more evident when Sunny tells that her actual name is Kim Sun, the sister of Kim Shin. The Grim Reaper figures out that he is the reincarnation of King Gong Yoo, the king who ordered the execution of Kim Shin and the killing of his sister through a kiss that brings back memories of the events. The realization kills all. The Grim Reaper wipes out the memories of Sunny to avoid infliction of pain on her, but she fights against it, and later, she is able to keep them. There is an emotionally charged fight between Kim Shin and the Grim Reaper, as the first one presses his neck and says he is General Kim Shin, who came to visit His Majesty. Although Kim Shin is in pain, many centuries later, she finally spares him, releasing him because it is no longer the Grim Reaper. The new threat appears in the person of Park Joong-won, who was the treacherous minister who had plotted the death of Kim Shin 900 years ago. He has now turned into a wicked spirit who wants to ruin all the things that Kim Shin adores. Joong-won aims at both Eun-tak and Sunny as he tries to take possession of Eun-tak and attempt to use her to draw out the sword and kill Kim Shin. The fight is climaxed when Joong-won enters the body of Eun-tak and pushes her hand into the sword. She is about to pull it when the Grim Reaper comes and forces Joong-won out. Kim Shin makes his decision. He takes the hand of Eun-tak and pulls the sword with it. And the legendary blade was hand-bound. He turns and destroys Joong-won, completing the mission given to him by the first king 900 years ago. As Kim Shin accepts his death, he holds Eun-tak one final time. His body begins dissolving into light particles. He tells her that meeting her was the reward of his life, and she sobs that she loves him. With his last breath, he says he loved her too, then vanishes completely. The curse of the goblin ceases, and so does that of any one of the rest who memories him. Eun-tak desperately engraveth his name in her diary, and forgets, but she does not comprehend why. She feels sad inexplicably, and she has a necklace that she does not recall having gotten. Kim Shin gets into nothingness. His existence is in a loop, gradually forgetting himself. He holds a scrap of paper, one of the promises that he has given Eun-tak, that he would give her an answer on the first snow of the season. 9 years pass. Eun-tak is a successful screenwriter, but she is tormented by strange sadness, particularly after it rains. She no longer remembers Kim Shin, only she feels something empty, and she cannot tell what. She reads her burned diary, which leaves her perplexed because of the lost figure in her life, and the necklace that she always wears. Kim Shin keeps on walking in the empty place, falling and rising, never letting that promise go by. Then, one day on the birthday of Eun-tak, She is seated alone with a birthday cake, making the usual lonely wishes when something miraculous occurs. The gods took mercy, being moved by their tragic love story. Kim Shin is shown before Eun-tak, who is back in the world, but she doesn't recognize him. She feels puzzled when he cries over the stranger she holds when he hugs her in the middle of 9 years of separation. The heartbreak is immense. Kim Shin is back, but the person he loves the most does not know him. The Grim Reaper is the only person that remembers Kim Shin. One man was given the permission by the gods to recall their love affair, and he became that witness. The Grim Reaper is as happy to receive Kim Shin when she visits him back with tears. It is now time that Kim Shin wins the heart of Eun-tak. He comes to her life as a mysterious character with whom she continues to meet. He manipulates weather and circumstances just to see her, turning winter into spring with peach blossoms when she makes mistakes. He becomes the CEO sponsoring her work projects. Every interaction is bittersweet. He knows everything about her, but she sees only an intriguing stranger. Eun-tak receives a letter she wrote to her mother from Canada 10 years ago, mentioning a man she was close to. Curious about her lost memories, she travels to Canada. Kim Shin obeys and cannot remain away. At this place, a jeweler manufacturer identifies the necklace of Eun-tak. It was made 10 years earlier by a man. Taking a stroll around the area they have known together, Kim Shin tells Eun-tak that he had a first love, how they were together. But he does not mention that this is of her. They pay a visit to his gravestone. He was killed 900 years ago, yet he has a contemporary monument. Upon her questioning him, he vanishes, making her even more perplexed. Eun-tak runs out of the street desperate and heartbroken, and blows out a candle crying the name Kim Shin. He comes up and embraces her and kisses her. At that moment, all comes back. All the memories, all the moments, all the feelings. She recalls their love, his sacrifice, and 9 years stolen away. Their meeting turns out to be passionate and tearful. They go home, and Kim Shin proposes to get married beautifully. Peach blossom is dropping down upon the sky, and Eun-tak cries with joy and accepts. The lovers come back together, and it is a few moments of perfection. Sunny also comes back to complete recollections of herself as Kim's son and challenges the Grim Reaper that he was Gong Yoo. Despite this tragic background, they opt to love one another in this life, since they know they are not the same people they used to be. But in this story, no good thing lasts long. The Grim Reaper is given a list in which Eun-tak will die when she is 29, presently. He learns the horrible truth. A company of children will die in accident unless somebody takes any action. Eun-tak is driving when a truck makes a loss of control and hits children, and she drives her car without a second thought to block it and helps to save the children and sacrifices herself. In her deathbed, she recalls the face of Kim Shin and tells her that she loves her. The Grim Reaper is a witness to her demise, and he is crying the first time he has ever cried a soul. Kim Shin comes late enough and has to bid farewell to the spirit of Eun-tak. She interrogates how many lives she lived, and she gets to know that this was the first. She smiles even as she suffers, because she knows that she will see them again. She does not accept the tea which would forget her memories, and she would continue remembering him in her future life. Kim Shin lights a paper on which she writes her name and sends his blessings to the wind. He laments a long time in snowy rain. 30 years pass. The Grim Reaper is finally given his last task, the soul of Sunny. He proposes a ring to her finger before taking her through the door after a span of 3 decades. Kim Shin observes outside as his sister and the king, who have now been reconciled, walk off together. Kim Shin is alone wandering across the earth. However, there comes a time when he observes them, his sister and the Grim Reaper in his new incarnation being very happy. He smiles, and now is at last at ease with their termination. Then, as Kim Shin sits vacuously at a grave reading, he hears a voice. Eun-tak has come back in her next life. Once again, the two lovers are brought together in beautiful weather, and their love is beyond death, memory, and even time. It is the tale of Goblin, a legend to remember that love is stronger than death, that sacrifice and redemption go hand in hand, and that there are some ties which the gods themselves cannot break. And that's Goblin! It is one of the most heartbreaking and beautiful K-dramas ever filmed. The legend of an eternal being who wanted to die, a girl who was to award it, and a love which was stronger than even his fate. In case you like this recap, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to have more content of K-dramas. What is your favorite scene in Goblin? In the comments below, inform me. Now, till the next time, continue watching and continue loving great stories.